guys, it's Carolyn here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this dress. This is a dress I wore to present Miss Universe Scotland. What to do is watch the video. If you like the dress that you see in the video, you can then purchase the pattern pieces online at www.carolynbaxter.co.uk, where you click on the dress which you choose to purchase the pattern pieces for. You can then follow the video step by step. And using your pattern pieces that you've purchased, the video is going to show you how to make this glamorous, beautiful, full-length dress. This video is going to be good for those of you who are learning how to sew or use patterns regularly. For those of you who don't know what patterns are, they're paper pieces that you pin to fabric and cut around. You then sew these pieces of fabric together, resulting in your very own beautiful dress. All the dresses in my videos that I show you how to make come in 3 different levels: easy, medium and hard. This one is an easy dress to make. It doesn't require that many pattern pieces. However, it's easier than a lot of the complicated patterns that you can buy from other shops on the high street, because you can follow the step-by-step video. So if you like the sound of this, then get online, purchase your pattern pieces and let's start sewing. For this dress, you will need approximately 3.5 meters of fabric. This is the fabric I've chosen. Go for something with a little bit of a sheen and looks like it drapes nice as well. You also need some thread that's similar or the same colour as the fabric that you're using. You need some hook and eyes, which you can buy from most sewing shops. And you also need some ribbon trimming. Now, this is just optional if you want to add the detail like I have around the edge of the dress, but you can get that online. I got my feathers and trimming from josierose.com, and they are offering all my subscribers a 10% discount if you type in CBWF at checkout. So thanks for that, guys. Start off by laying your fabric flat on the floor. This is 3.5 meters. Fold over one end of the fabric to place your pattern piece. I'm going to take my pattern piece now, which is the front top shell. This square here should just be enough to fit your pattern piece on. You don't want too much excess, because then you're just wasting your fabric. Pin in place flat. Once you've pinned your pattern piece, it should look like this. And then cut out. Make sure you have a nice sharp pair of scissors for this. Now, this line here on the pattern piece, this section here and here, is called seam allowance. Now, those of you who are familiar with patterns should know that already, but this basically is going to be the area that is going to be folded over. It's just allowing a little bit of excess so that we can fold the fabric and finish the edges of the fabric so that they don't fray. Once you've cut out your pattern piece, it should look like this. Now we've got our 2 pattern pieces, we're going to take the edges and we're going to fold them over and press with the iron. Then we're going to fold over again and we're going to sew along there. So do that on both your pattern pieces. Now we've got our 2 pattern pieces and we've folded over all the edges like so and sewn them. We're going to lay them down next to each other flat, and we're going to put one on top of the other. Then we're going to go to the end this bit here, and we're going to sew these together. So we've lined them up and we've put some pins in, and we're just going to sew along there now, and once it's sewn and opened up, it will all become one big pattern piece. Now you've sewn your 2 pattern pieces together, you should have something that looks like this. sewn here, and then these two pieces here. On the pattern piece it shows you that the straight side is on the outside and the curved side is going to be on the inside. So you're going to lay your fabric like that on the mannequin as it says on the pattern piece. So this should be the curved side here and the straight side on the outside. So I'm going to pin this first side like this. And then I'm going to take it round across the back and go back round the front. Now at this point the centre should actually meet at the front here. The pieces you've just sewn together, that is. You're taking it back round and back up the back, and you're going to go underneath. Then, to make sure it's a bit more secure, you're going to curve it around and go back underneath again. And that means that the back will stay secure, it won't move around too much. You're then going to take this pattern piece back round again to the front and pin like so. This is what your top half should now look like. Now for the bottom part of the dress. Lay out the remainder of the fabric and cut off any uneven edges so it's one big rectangle again. Now that you've got your big piece of fabric ready to start making the skirt, you're going to do the same as what we did on the top of the dress, like here. And we're going to be folding over and ironing and then folding over again and sewing. You're going to do that all the way around apart from one of the long edges, and that's because we need to measure that later to get the right length of the dress. So you may be cutting that if you're a little bit on the short side like me. So we're going to be folding over 1 centimetre and pressing with the iron. And then taking it to the sewing machine, folding over once again and running over with the machine. Now you have to find the middle of the fabric. So to locate the middle of the fabric, you want to fold your fabric over like so. Line it up, and where the fold is here, just mark it with a pin, because that will show you where the middle of the fabric is. Next up, we're going to take our fabric, and we've got the point that we've marked with a pin to show us where the centre is. I'm now going to pin the centre of the fabric to line up with the centre of the mannequin. Now we've pinned it in place, we're going to put a couple of little pleats down the front, and that just allows for a bit of floaty movement. So we're going to be folding a 2 centimetre pleat here and here on the middle of the front of the dress. Pin in place and then sew secure. Now I've just stuck a couple of pins there to lift the fabric up. We're going to turn that round now. We're going to pin where we're going to have the hook and eye to hold the dress. So just make sure it's in a good position. You've got enough back showing, but it's not too low that you're going to show bum cleavage, because that's so not a good look. At this point, we're going to line up the two ends at the bottom, and we want to be pinning from the end up till about 10 centimetres away from where you've just pinned the back bit. Mark 10 centimetres on both sides of the fabric. Then you would take it off the mannequin. The easiest way to show you is if you're holding the dress up against yourself, then you turn it the other way, and where you mark those two pins here, you're going to then sew all the way down to the end seam, and that just means that the seams are trapped inside the dress. I'm going to be pinning all the way along from here where I marked those two pins right to the edge. So I've pinned all the way along there now, and I'm going to start sewing. So I've sewn it up now, and this is the wrong way round. Now I'm going to be turning it back round the right way, and as you can see, the seam that you've just sewn looks like this, and then the other side and the inside looks like that. Now I've put the skirt back onto the mannequin, and I'm going to use the hook and eye now to secure that fastening so we can just take it on and off the mannequin as we want to. If you don't have a mannequin, you can always try it on yourself, and that will give you an idea where to put the hook and eye as well. Line up and mark with the pin on the back, and then sew the hook and eyes onto both sides of the fabric. Make sure they're lined up.